Hey guys, and welcome back to World of Warships with me, Geogen. Today we'll be looking at the Tier 5 American cruiser, the Omaha, which directly follows on from the Tier 4 cruiser, the Phoenix. The Phoenix and the Omaha share great similarities because basically a Phoenix is a prototype version of the Omaha. The similarities they share are the size and shape of the vessel, the caliber of the guns they have, the types of torpedoes, and the speed, unless I already mentioned the speed. I believe I mentioned armor. Speed and armor are the same, to clarify. The main differences between the two vessels is the Omaha has been substantially upgunned compared to, say, a Phoenix, which is stock, which only has 6 152mm batteries, whereas the Omaha fully upgraded has 12, 4 of which are in turrets, dual-mounted turrets in the front here and at the back here. The 8 remaining guns are in these side sponsons, 2 on each side at the back and 2 on each side at the front. These guns are inferior to the turret-mounted guns because they can only turn so far. Probably a maximum of 180 degrees, I don't actually know. Also, the gun performance has improved over the Phoenix class in terms of its rate of fire and its maximum range that you can shoot at enemy ships, which is 12.5 kilometers. Its AA has been improved as well, which means you can escort various ships as well as defend yourself to a better extent compared to the Phoenix. Of course, your AA capabilities aren't as good as a Congo-class battleship, say, but nonetheless you are better than what you were in the Phoenix. Other than that, the ships are quite similar, except the fact that you have 6 torpedoes on each side, but they are the same really mediocre torpedoes which only have 5.5 kilometers range, as well as 56 knots speed, which means your torpedoes aren't your go-to weapon of choice in this vessel, and you will be relying more on the guns. The only other feature which the Omaha has over the Phoenix is it can launch a recon plane, located here, which can help you and your teammates locate enemy vessels. However, your detectability range, if you were detecting a ship from the surface, is greater than if you rely on your air recon. For instance, if we look in our own concealment factor, we can be detected at 13.5 kilometers, whereas if we were being spotted from the air, it would be at 6.7 kilometers we were detected. So that's something you might want to look out for. Anyway, let's take a look at the replay. And we start the replay on the south side of the north map. I decide that I want to head right, and my initial plan was to head along the G10 through to D10 sort of way, so on the far right hand side of the map around the large island, sort of hugging the island, so I would be hidden from most enemy lines of sight. However, I see that this destroyer is, well, I believe he was going to head to the right and do what I was going to do. However, he decides to go down the G8, F8 and E8 area, so I decide to follow him. I also, as you can see, the recon plane is now being launched, one of the features you don't get on the Phoenix before this. And as Rex says in the chat on the left there, everyone stick together, and that is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best pieces of advice in this game. Because if you go off by yourself, say in a destroyer, even though you have good camera rating, you will not last long if you encounter the entire enemy fleet and they're all in a big group and they'll all point their guns at you, because the first target that's lit up will be destroyed. Because everyone stops what they're doing and aims and fires and you die. And it would be the same if you're in a battleship or a cruiser, and especially an aircraft carrier. If you're by yourself in an aircraft carrier, you've done something wrong, because aircraft carriers can't defend themselves against battleships and the like. If your flight deck is on fire, or if your torpedo bombers and normal dive bombers are rearming. Anyway, back to the replay at hand. You saw just then how the front turrets rotate quite quickly, and I take a look to the right there to see what those friendly torpedoes from our destroyer friend were doing. I see there's a Murmansk in front of us, and he is a Russian Lend-Lease variant of the Omaha, and it's a premium ship, one of 3 Soviet ships in the game at the moment. The other being the Aurora and the, sorry for the butchering of this, but the Gornyashki? Something similar. I was nearly going to crash into that guy, so I slammed the brakes, but we managed to avoid each other quite well. I see a cruiser which looks like a Omaha. Could have been a Phoenix, but I believe it was an Omaha on the other side. But because of the way the island is sloped and how close I am to the island, my shell's trajectory wouldn't be suitable and it would just hit the island. So there was no need to even aim at him. There's a Fuso in the background there, but again he's out of range. 12.5 kilometers range on these guns, which is kind of disappointing if you want to fire at anyone who is further away from you, obviously. But again, it's not too bad. Now, there's a Kawachi in this game, and interestingly, this is a tier 6 game. So I take a 4-shot salvo at him, and none of them miss. Sorry, none of them hit even. Anyway, the Kawachi is a tier 3, and normally in Wargaming's titles, there's a 2-tier spread. Meaning, if you're a tier 3, you'll encounter tier 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. 2 tiers up and 2 tiers down. But this Kawachi has reached a tier 6 game. I've been set on fire, so I put that out quite quickly, because otherwise I will be burning for a long time. Now my repair, damage prevention module thingy-bob is on cooldown for 1 minute and 10 seconds. I fire again at the Kawachi and only hit one of my shots. On the left there you saw me launch my 6 torpedoes, because I thought if there's anything going in that narrow stretch, they might sail into them. I hit the Kawachi again for only minimal damage, and I believe that spread hit the island in front of me when I was aiming in and I didn't see. Torpedoes on the left are no concern to me because they are nowhere near me, and I've sailed past them before they were even close to my position. I've been hit just then, and I've shot down an enemy aircraft. Didn't see because I was aiming in a different camera view. I see my opposing Omaha-class on the enemy team. He's hitting me for some damage, and I'm hitting him for quite a good amount of damage. He's hidden a lot of his ship behind the island, but I hit him for a citadel penetration, so he's now on perilously low health. He evades my other 2 shots, but he pulls forward so my other guns can fire at him, with some success of 2 hits, before he crashes into the island in front of him and is destroyed from a citadel penetration. However, I'm now on 2/3 of my health, and I'm still being attacked by someone I can't see, so I decide to sail away, drop off their radar, and I contemplate going around the cap circle, but I think that would have taken too long, so I decide to turn into the cap circle, even if this highlights my position. There is a Cleveland on the left there, within my gun range. I believe he's being spotted by a friendly on the left now. And there's that Kawachi I was shooting at earlier. Cleveland is firing at my friendly. He hasn't seen me yet. Or he has seen me and he's not paying attention because I'm too far away. Currently capturing the enemy base right now, and the thing is that when you capture bases in World of Warships, it differs from World of Tanks, because in World of Tanks you can easily aim a shot at someone and reset the cap instantly. But if you miss your shells, then the enemy could capture out before you're able to reload, especially if you're in a battleship with a reload of 32 odd seconds. However, the Cleveland has now noticed my position, and he hit me and reset some of the capture points. His guns are superior to mine in every respect. There are more of them, they fire quicker, and they have a better range. Nonetheless, I am still firing back at him, however he hits me for a lot of damage. I decide to use my torpedoes with a narrow spread, foolishly not taking into account what I discussed earlier about the poor speed and range of the torpedoes. Still firing my salvos, and I know I'm in a bad situation here. I'm on 3,400 hit points and this guy is battering me down. If I don't get out of here, I will die. So that's what I'm doing. I'm turning around and fleeing. If you see in the bottom left of the screen, I've got my front of the ship facing away from him, and only the back of the ship pointing towards him to reduce the amount of surface area he can hit me with his weapons. I am turning as he's turning to avoid his fire as well as his friendly's fire. However, as I mentioned earlier, the gun configuration of the Omaha is actually quite useful, because I can at least get 6 guns on target. Well, 4 guns on target, and then when he switches sides I can get the other 2. So up between 4 and 6 guns on target. Usually a salvo of 4. I hit him for some critical damage, knock out one of his guns. He's still firing back at me, but he is in a world of hurt. He's on fire. He's getting hit by my allies, most likely my Fuso battleship friends. Still firing at him. I do some more critical damage, but someone else finishes him off. I thank the players who assisted me there, because I am now on just under 800 hit points, and without their fire support I would have died. And as you can see, the ship is in pretty bad condition. I take another shot at whatever that was. I believe it was an Omaha still. Maybe a Phoenix, but likely an Omaha. And he goes down before my shells connect. I've sailed out of the capture circle, so I need to get back in and assist. Because I know that the remaining ships on the enemy team will be heading back to this location. However, 3 of them are battleships, 1 of them's an aircraft carrier and the other is a cruiser. The 3 battleships are too slow to get back. And the cruiser, which is in sector, well, going into sector I-9, is way too far away to interrupt either, and he's not near enough to our cap to give us any kind of threat. And therefore, we all pile into the capture circle, and there's nothing the enemy can do, because they're far too slow, and we have got the advantage. And that is the end of this game. And there we go, a good game. 100,000 credits, 1922 experience, and 95 free experience. Which is not too shabby, considering we're tier 5. Almost 16,500 AP damage, almost 2,000 high explosive damage. I prefer firing armor piercing in this ship. I just think it's more effective than high explosive. If I was to encounter a aircraft carrier, I would likely fire high explosive to set alight his his flight deck. Anyway, that was the Omaha-class Tier 5 American cruiser. I've been Geogen. This was World of Warships. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like or a comment if you want to. That'd be much appreciated. And I'll see you next time.